Hi guys, welcome to writersblockbrewing.com. My name is Matthew, and in this video I'm going to make a couple modifications to my Keezer. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video on how to convert your chest freezer into a Keezer, check that out at the link below. Otherwise, the two modifications that I'd like to do are adding an air distributor inside the Keezer and adding a shelf for this drip mat. But first, let's take a look inside the Keezer to remind you what it looks like now. When I first started brewing, I was only making 5-gallon batches. Now I'm up that to 10, therefore I needed to buy a few more kegs. At any moment now I could have 3 or 4 kegs. Unfortunately, there's a shelf here in the right-hand corner which permits me getting that 4th keg in there. However, I can buy a 3-gallon keg and rest that on this shelf here to the right. So if I make a 10-gallon batch, I could put 5 gallons into a 5-gallon keg, 3 gallons into the small keg, and then bottle the other 2 gallons to send off for homebrew competitions. So potentially, my maximum amount of kegs and taps I could have in this chest freezer are 4, which is why I chose the fore outline distributor for my CO2 gas. Now, if in the future, which I will not be doing in this video now, I can always add 2 more taps. That's the great thing about this chest freezer and building a wooden collar. You always have the opportunity to add on in the future as you grow with your hobby. So the first thing that I've done is drilled a 9/16 hole into the back of the wood collar. That's just wide enough to allow this CO2 line to fit through. I will be placing the CO2 canister on the outside of the Keezer to make more room for my 4th small keg. Now you want to make sure that's nice and snug there. I suppose you could always silicone it off, but if that is really nice and snug, you're not going to get much cold air escaping. And here you can see I've drilled 4 pilot holes for my screws where I will affix the air distributor. So now that I've installed the air distributor, I am going to add it to the CO2 main line. Clamp it into place. And there we have it. Now I have removed the CO2 canister to outside the Keezer. It is hooked up to the distributor. And now I have started adding the CO2 lines out that will go to each keg. So now I have all 3 kegs hooked up to the CO2 with 1 extra distributor to spare in case I ever get one of those small 3-gallon kegs. Now, of course, all the beers are hooked up to CO2. In a future episode, I'll probably add another tap handle, but for now, let's go ahead and add that drip mat. So stainless steel drip mats can be very expensive. They have some that can hang straight off the collar, or you can bolt them in if you do want to create holes in your refrigerator or freezer. However, my buddy Dustin, who's also a home brewer, came up with this brilliant idea, and that is using hard drive magnets that will just go ahead and stick right on. So aside from the magnets and also whatever drip mat you want, you're going to need some shelving piece. Normally this is supposed to go like this, but I've added my hard drive magnets to this side, 6 of them, and that is basically just going to click right on there. And I've got another one which is going to go ahead and click right on there. Probably not even, but that's okay. I selected this Newcastle drip mat because it was the first beer with flavor that I started enjoying after I turned 21. And I measured this piece of wood to fit the exact dimensions of the drip mat. And that piece of wood will go right on my shelving pieces. Let me align those up so it looks nice. And there you have it. A nice, clean drip mat. So guys, I got my new CO2 distributor. I got my new drip mat. So, what's left? Let's see how it pours. Voila! This is an American Pale Ale Smash, which I dry hopped with Simcoe hops. If you're interested in how I did that, or seeing my brew day, please check out My Beer Story episode 6 in the link below. Please subscribe for more how-to videos, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write them down below. I will answer them very rapidly. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.